Welcome to today's show. I'm David Johnson. This is Final Shot. My guest on today, Tim Mondo. Our first topic on today is Deshaun Jackson going to the Redskins. Of course, we know we signed a 3-year, $24 million, 16 guaranteed. How do we feel about that? Is this beneficial? How do we feel about it?
I feel it is going to be beneficial to the Redskins, but first, before anything, they have to settle their locker room issues, and RG3 has to be playing in peak form again because, he had a little injury last year, and they shut him down for the year. So before anything, they have to take care of that before they can implement Deshaun into the schemes.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I feel like the Redskins have gotten better with Deshaun Jackson. He's an elite receiver, but at the same time, they do have to fix those locker room problems. Last year, they were questioning, can RG3 be a leader? And if Deshaun Jackson's getting cut by the Eagles, who couldn't make the playoffs last year, it's kind of wondering how much locker room trouble is he really going to bring also with that. So I'm really just waiting to see how the mixture is going to go.
Right. And the thing everyone's been talking about is this now alleviates what RG3 can do. He can get outside the pocket. You can't keep him in quarterback contained. Do we agree with this? Do we see, any more possible opportunities for this?
Well, that was really the problem last year. That's why they didn't make the playoffs. The year before, they were looking like an elite squad. But last year they need to step their defense up.
Right.
Getting Deshaun Jackson is not going to stop you from the other team from getting touchdowns. At the end of the day, they have to improve their defense. Their offense will run more fluently, and hopefully RG3 and the coach can get it going now. So we'll see.
Yeah, he just said everything. He hit the needle on the head. So they just need to take care of everything on defense, and everything else will fall into place as far as postseason runs and all that goes.
Next topic, big guy, 6'5", 265, Davion Clowney. He had his pro day the other day. He looked great. Is he worth the risk? If you're the Texans, if you're any team in the top 3, is he worth the risk to you?
I believe he is. He's smart. He sat down and waited because he didn't want to risk any further injury, but I believe he is worth the risk being a top 3 pick. I think the Texans should go with Johnny Manziel, but definitely a top 3 pick though.
Why Johnny Manziel?
Just for marketing purposes. The state of Texas loves him. He's done big things down there. He was born in Texas, and is more room for error with Johnny Manziel. Sort of like they don't need to make the same mistake the Jaguars did with Tebow and not taking him.
I agree. I feel like Jadeveon Clowney, I feel like he is worth the risk. I've been hearing different opinions on him. First, that his size is great and he's really explosive, but he doesn't have the mechanics. But I feel like the mechanics, Aaron Rodgers, they changed his whole mechanics up when he was in Green Bay. They changed him from a different quarterback. You see what kind of quarterback he is now. So I feel like with the right mechanics, if they can get Jadeveon Clowney to actually start working harder and improving over his effort from last year, then maybe this number 1 pick will be well worth it.
But on top of that, though, he had Brett Favre on top of him to fix his mechanics and turn him into the quarterback he is today.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying anybody from the Texans, because the Texans have some good defensive players also.
Right.
Just anybody back there, because they say they can move him to linebacker, keep him at defensive end. So it's really just a lot of things they could do, a lot of options.
Right.
Mark Jackson, former NBA player, coach of the Golden State Warriors.
Right.
Feel some type of way about this guy. Tremendous player, tremendous point guard, tremendous coach. He's not getting the results right now in Golden State as the fans are giving him scrutiny. Phil Jackson's a new GM in New York. Do we see a possible trade here, coach trade here? Is this rumor or just reality?
Definitely a rumor. Definitely. If I'm Phil Jackson, I'm trying to pull this. But if I'm over in Golden State in the office, no. Mark Jackson has done great things for Golden State. Just because they're not a top 5 seed, I feel like the fans are giving them scrutiny for it. But just the other day, Coach Pop gave him praise, and I feel like if you get recognized by one of the greatest coaches in NBA history, that means a lot. So I don't see that happening.
I kind of disagree, just because I feel like Mike Woodson has been underrated. I feel like when he left Atlanta weren't going to make it past the second round of the playoffs either way. I feel like Mark Jackson has kind of not shown his full potential with Golden State. I feel like they would be a top 4 seed right now, and they're not, and I'm kind of worried about that. But with Greg Popovich is a smart man. You see how he kind of handled the LeBron situation in the finals, and I feel like if he gets play Golden State, because a lot of coaches have been saying Mark Jackson does a lot of dirty things on the court. Not dirty, but just as far as the other coaches wouldn't do it, as far as antics, and same thing with Jason Kidd,
Right.
You care to add more to me?
No.
Okay.
I'm good.
We shift back to football. We see the powers shifted, I guess you can say, from Philadelphia, I guess now to the Redskins. DeMarcus Ware now going to the Broncos. Who will win the NFC East?
That's a tough one. Who do you think, Mondo?
I want to say the Cowboys always have the ability just because they have the talent. They always have the talent. Their defense needs to get better. The defensive coordinator, they should have kept what's his name? That went to what's the defense coordinator the Cowboys had? That went to the Saints. Yeah, Rex Ryan. I felt like Rex Ryan was good. I think the Cowboys, the Eagles, I'm not sure where they're going with Mark Sanchez. The Redskins look good, and the Giants are always, who knows with the Giants.
Right.
So I guess a better question would be, if you had to rate them 1 through 4, how would you rate them 1 through 4?
Who, the Redskins?
NFC East.
Oh, the NFC East? I'm not sure. I think they're entertaining because I don't know what's going to happen. Tim, what do you think?
I think it's up in there. You can't really rate them. You just have to wait and see. Only time will tell.
I agree. And with that, we'll be back. Take a quick commercial break. We'll come back. We'll talk NCAA championships, Final Four, our predictions. Welcome back to Final Shot. We're here now. Our next topic is NCAA championship and Final Four predictions. We have UConn, Wisconsin, Kentucky, and Florida. Who do we have and why?
I have Kentucky just because the way they emerged out of nowhere. I feel like they can pull the upset and take it all home.
I want to say last week I slept on Kentucky, and I won't do it again. But I feel like UConn with Shabazz Napier playing the way he is, and Florida just having all the seasoned guards and just the team period.
Experience.
Right, just the experience. I feel like it'll be a great championship Monday. But as far I'm gonna say Kentucky beat Wisconsin, and even though UConn beat Florida, I'm gonna say Florida beats UConn, Florida, Kentucky, and I'm gonna give the edge to Florida because Florida's beat Kentucky during the regular season. So I'm gonna give the edge to Florida, but it go either way.
Right.
So you're gonna give the edge to Florida because of what exactly, the longevity, how long they've been together?
Well, yeah, they've been together for a minute. They play Kentucky. I think they know how to handle them. It just seems like everything's in their favor right now. But Kentucky has ever since Wichita State.
Yes,
I don't
exactly.
know.
And that's been the knock on Florida. They're not deep as Kentucky is with these blue chip, blue collar players, and they've come back with Wichita. They came back last week. Personally, I'd like to see Kentucky and Calipari in it for one more time. You can't go wrong with Florida and Billy Donovan.
All right.
Our next topic: Jabari Parker, Joel Embiid, top 2 freshmen, arguably. They may be going to the pros. Do we feel like this is a mistake, or we feel like this is something they should do?
That is a big mistake for both of them because all year they have been considered top 3 picks. They said that Jabari Parker was a bad defender, and even after all that, he's still projected as a top 3 pick on the big board. And with this deep class coming in this year for the 2014-2015 year, that's going to put them under a microscope, and they'll pick apart their games, and it'll kill their stock going into next year. If anyone had to stay and have a better chance of being the lottery pick, I feel like it would be Joel Embiid just because of his upside, and he's 7 feet tall. But for Jabari Parker, he definitely needs to go now.
Yeah, I like Jabari Parker and actually Joel Embiid going now. I feel like next year you have Jahlil Okafor coming and Karl Towns, and they seem like some really good prospects. But Jabari Parker, even though his defense has been kind of off, they had him playing the 5. You know what I'm saying? They had him playing against big men most of the time, defensive guarding him. And it's just, I don't know how that would kind of transition to the NBA. I don't know how he's going to do. But I would love to see Jabari Parker in the NBA. I feel like he could score. Joel Embiid, he really seems like the total package as far as it's like his post game got better over the season. Defensive abilities, he's a good shot blocker. I like to see him go pro right now.
Yeah, I feel like the first 6 picks of the draft are set in stone, even after all that's going on this year.
Yeah.
So I feel like they need to go ahead and go now because with the lottery pick, you're guaranteed a contract and you won't be going to the D League.
Right.
So they need to go now, or they may suffer for it later in years to come.
Speaking of NBA, perfect segue. We go back to the Eastern Conference. We talk Pacers. 3-6 in their last 9. How do we feel about this? Are they still in contention of the championship? And also we have savvy veterans, David West, Roy Hibbert, talking about selfish play. How do we feel about this, guys?
Let me say something real quick.
Go ahead, Mondo. Go ahead.
After Roy Hibbert and David West said what they said about the teammates being selfish, I was like, all right. Then last night, the Pacers, who were the Pacers playing last night?
The Pistons.
The Pistons. And they're winning by like 1, I believe. And Paul George shoots a shot from almost half court. He made it. He made it.
But you know why he shot that, though? Because the shot clock didn't reset. And he thought it was at 1 second.
Oh, that's
so
why he shot it?
That's why he shot it? Yes,
oh,
that's
okay.
why he shot it.
All right. Okay.
That's exactly why he shot it. They didn't reset the shot clock. But when they got the rebound, it should have been at 24. But when Paul George got the ball, he looked at the clock and it said 1, so he pulled it.
Well, I'm going to say this then. I feel like right now, it's towards the end of the season, they need to have that chemistry going. They don't have it going. I feel like this is very deadly. They just lost the number 1 spot to Miami. If Miami has home court advantage, they're going back to the finals. The Pacers need it. Miami doesn't.
Right, because they've proven they're the back-to-back champions. They can win anywhere.
Right.
So, but for the Pacers, they need to be pushing all panic buttons. They've lost too many games. They've fallen apart. But for Roy Hibbert to say the things about his teammates, I feel like he was just talking out of frustration because he's proven that he's not been thinking before he speaks as of last year when he got fined with his comments. But, yeah, it's just frustration. They need to get it together ASAP if they plan on fighting Miami for a trip to the finals.
All right.
So,
To continue with the Eastern Conference, we have the Hawks and Knicks fighting for the 8th and final position in the Eastern Conference. Which team would we like to see and why?
I mean, just for the fact that it's the New York Knicks, we would love to see them in the playoffs, and the fact that the Hawks have had bad injuries over the year, it will be a guaranteed sweep for whoever the Hawks play. At least the Knicks, they'll give whoever the number 1 seed, Miami or Indiana, they'll give them a challenge. But either one that gets in, they're going home in 5 or 6.
Yeah.
As far as the Knicks go.
Yeah, I'm more entertained by the Knicks. I mean, the Hawks are. I feel like with Al Horford, they were a top 3 team in the East. They were the 3rd best team in the East. There was no question. But I just feel like with Al Horford out, it's not a lot that Paul Millsap and company can do. Jeff Teague hasn't been really playing up to his expectations this season, and I really feel like the Knicks just give anybody matchup problems. If J.R. Smith can get it going, Lord knows he needed to get it going last year, which he didn't do. But if he gets it going, I feel like the Knicks can be potential like matchup problems for Miami because Melo doesn't play great defense, but he plays better against Bron for some reason. I'm not sure why. And the last year with them and the Pacers, that was a great series. Yeah. So I would just like to see the Knicks more, just period.
Right.
I'll tell you why Melo plays better against LeBron. It's the ego thing. First of all, they've been playing with each other
for a long time, since like high school.
Right. So now we switch over to the Western Conference. 3 teams in the final 7, 8, and 9 seed, 44 and 31, Dallas, Phoenix, and Memphis. Who do we see staying? Who do we see going?
You said Dallas, Phoenix, and Memphis?
Memphis, yes, sir.
That's tough. I want to see Phoenix just because they're more an exciting team, and it'll cause a few more matchup problems for the top seeds. Right. You know, Eric Bledsoe, Goran Dragic, and the most improved player in what's his name, Gerald Green.
Gerald Green.
It would just be exciting for the first round if they made it to the playoffs. So.
Yeah, I like Phoenix. I like Memphis. I like Dallas. I like all of them, but only 2 can make it. And if I had to say somebody was going to be out, I would think it's Phoenix, but I'm not sure.
It's the West. You can't predict the West.
The West is so good, just thoroughly good.
All right, we take a quick break. When we come back, we talk May 8th NFL Draft.
We'll talk.
Welcome back to Final Shot. We now talk NFL, as we know only 30 prospects can be brought in into an NFL team before draft day. Speaking of that, the Patriots bring in Johnny Manziel, Teddy Bridgewater. What does this mean, and do they fit into the systems?
It was kind of a confusing move for me when I saw it because Tom Brady is not going anywhere, and unless they're looking to mentor Manziel and have him step up in the future or trade Tom Brady or something, then I feel like it's going to be a bad move because, Johnny Manziel is big. Johnny Manziel is big time. He's like box office. They need to see him now. He needs to be playing now. He he doesn't need to be under someone's shadow. So like he doesn't need to be in New England. That's a bad situation for him.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like Manziel should be playing now, but who knows, man? The Patriots. I feel like kind of how the Broncos did Peyton. You know what I mean? They got into a different team, and the Patriots haven't won a championship since when? 07?
No,
the
the
Patriots
Giants won that year.
No, when the last time the Patriots won?
It's been a
06?
minute.
It's been a minute, right?
Been a good little minute.
I think their time is coming to a ring. I think it's coming to an end. I mean, Tom Brady's he's a great quarterback, but I mean, I don't know. It's confusing. I don't know what the Patriots are doing. You never know what the Patriots are doing, but bring
Can't
him
count
in.
out Bill Belichick.
Right. I mean, if Johnny Manziel is gone and Teddy Bridgewater is still there, why not draft him?
Right, and we still have Ryan Mallett. You know, he's just 2-3 years removed from being a top prospect from coming from Arkansas, 6'6", 240. So it remains to be seen what will go on. Now we talk NBA again. We sing the same song every year. Big three, what will happen? Contracts end up this year. And an alarming stat that I found out the other day: the last game against the Pacers, Chris Bosh, 26 minutes, 8 points, 4 rebounds. He's the model to me of inconsistency. What do we see happening with the big three?
I feel like they're going to stay. I mean, because Pat Riley has proven that he can use the money that they have to build around them. And he's built the Miami Big Three to fight for championships for years to come.
Right.
Like the Spurs, like the Celtics. I really don't feel like it would do any of them justice leaving Miami and going anywhere else. But Chris Bosh, I feel like they need to give him more touches, though, for him to be more consistent. Because,
I don't know. Maybe Bron is going to stay, but I think Bosh will leave. I feel like he's won the championships. At this point, he's not.
He's trying to be alpha dog again.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. At this point, I mean, he's been hearing criticism every time he does bad. When LeBron does bad, it's not as much criticism. When Wade does bad, it's not as much criticism as Bosh gets. You know what I mean? I feel like if he left, I don't know how this could work out, but I feel like the Spurs would be a good fit. I feel like Indiana would be a good fit. And really, he might just want to go somewhere for the money. You know what I mean? They all took pay cuts to play with each other. He might just want to get paid now. He's been, the last 2-3 years, he's actually been doing pretty good for Miami. When Wade and LeBron was in their slump, you had Bosh playing.
Up.
Remember that one? What was that? About 2
game
years
winner
ago?
was
Yeah, he was
like,
making game winners like every week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just feel like it's. Who knows? If they stay together, it's great because they can keep winning championships. They can keep reloading, like you said. But if they don't, then I mean, hey, it's just time.
They all hold the opt-out clause, so I mean, they can all choose to opt in and stay there until 2016, I believe.
Right.
But I feel like they're gonna stay.
Yeah.
They'll opt out and restructure their deals, and then go from there.
Hypothetically speaking, Bosh is 29?
They're all he's actually gonna be. He's 30.
He's 30 now.
He's
He just had
30.
a birthday a couple weeks ago. He's 30. What type of numbers could he look for in a contract? Could he look for a mass contract? Could he look for 5 years, $60 million, $40 million guaranteed, or will he get a rather pedestrian contract?
I feel like he should get a max contract because I mean, before he went to Miami, he was under the radar. He is a superstar in this league.
Right.
Let's make no mistake about that. I mean, but because he's been in Miami under LeBron and D Wade being like the third string guy, they kind of forgot that fact. So I mean, he would definitely demand a max contract if he went anywhere else because he can score. He's proven it. He's Miami's most clutch player. He's proven that. And yes, a max contract would definitely fit Bosh if he were to leave and explore free agency.
Well, I think Bosh is close to a max contract player, if not one. But I feel like with the other free agents that's coming up in free agency this year and next year, with you got Kevin Love, 16, you got Bron this year, Melo
Rondo.
this year, Rondo. You know what I mean? I feel like it really depends on the team. Also, it depends on the team.
In the cap space.
Right, in the cap space. I feel like he won't force a max contract for any contender team, any team that still, probably can make the playoffs.
Right.
But I don't know. I'll say maybe he probably signed a 2-year deal, if anything, with anybody. Probably player option.
Right.
Great point, guys. Now we go down to Popovich land. San Antonio Spurs win 19 in a row. Are they a sure shot to win the Western Conference in the playoffs?
Well, no, because the year Miami won, the 2012 year, they were on a streak going into the playoffs, and they kept it going all the way up until they played the Oklahoma City Thunder, and they violated the Thunder those first two games, blew them out by over 20 points, and then they came back and got backdoor swept, lost 4 in a row. So, no, that doesn't give them a sure shot thing to win the Western Conference. One, because of the West, and two, look what happened 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. So, no, not even close.
2 years ago, they didn't have one of the best young prospects in the league playing like he is right now, also in Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard is amazing. You know what I mean? His defense has gotten better. His shooting has gotten better. He's shooting 3 this year with some consistency.
Right.
I feel like they're not a sure shot. It's never a sure shot in the West. I mean, OKC, they create problems, but
they may have a better chance.
Well, yeah, they have a better chance. Yeah. I feel like if the Clippers can get it going, they're still very talented.
If Golden State's hitting their shots, if they're hitting their threes, look out for them. That's a dark horse.
Yeah, Golden State, right. Last year, Golden State getting problems, right?
Yeah.
I just feel like they're not a sure shot, but this streak is impressive, and we'll see tonight if they can keep it going.
I mean, Coach Popovich is remarkable, though. I mean, he could take all of us and our camera crew back there, and he'll take us to the NBA Finals and take Miami to 7 games. I mean,
probably the best coach in NBA history. It's debatable, but
NBA history.
Very debatable.
Very debatable.
Absolutely.
I feel everybody likes Phil Jackson because
he has all
Michael
the rings.
Jordan, Kobe, Shaq, now Knicks, but Popovich, he's been doing his thing. What they have
with the same team.
Right, they've been winning 50 games every year since like when 2000.
And every year everyone says the same thing. Oh, the Spurs are too old. Then right at the All-Star break, they're right there fighting for a top 3 seed, top 2 seed every year.
Something new, guys. Washington Wizards make the playoffs for the first time, 5 or 6 years.
That's good.
I guess picking John Wall, Bradley Beal, Jan Vesely, if you will, has worked out over the years if you've seen the maturation process of the 3.
Right.
If this playoff started today, 7 seed, they would play, of course, or by percentage points, Indiana Pacers.
Right.
Do we see them making noise, or do we see a clean sweep? What do we see here?
Not a clean sweep, not even by a long shot, because one of the Pacers have been struggling, and Roy Hibbert, they kind of overhype Roy Hibbert a little bit. Roy Hibbert only plays excellent basketball when he's playing the Miami Heat. So I feel like Marcin Gortat could give him some trouble. And, John Wall, he got that max contract, and he's living up to it. And Bradley Beal, if he's shooting on all cylinders, definitely, they may lose it or they may upset him. But if Indy goes to win it, I definitely see him losing in 6.
I like the Wizards. I don't think they're going to beat the Pacers in the first round, just because I feel like the Pacers are more talented. But I do like John Wall, one of the best defensive point guards in the league. That passing lane is going to be trouble for Indy. Bradley Beal is looking like his defensive capabilities are also up there. Otto Porter has been playing great.
That's the new big 3 to look out for.
Right. That might be the big 3 to look out for in maybe a couple
2 more years.
Right. But I don't see them beating Indiana. Maybe if they somehow get up to the 6th seed. I don't know what the record's looking like right now. But if they get up to the 6th seed, they could possibly pull off an upset against Brooklyn or Chicago or whoever. Yeah, right.
All right.
Whoever they play in the first round.
Only time will tell.
Only time will tell. Great segment, guys. We take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we end with the quick picks.
Might as well be 7 feet.
Welcome back to Final Shot. We talk MLB, talk CC Sabathia, opening day, 6 innings, 6 runs earned. Should the Yankees be concerned starting off 2-0?
No.
Excuse me.
No, not even. There's so many games in the MLB season. There's nothing to worry about. They're the Yankees. Mondo.
It's 186 games. They played 3. Who cares? It's 3 games. Whatever.
Next.
Tiger Woods misses the Masters because of his back. Do we still care about Tiger?
I do. I can't speak for America.
I care about what I'm going to eat tonight. I don't care about Tiger.
Falcons clearly have some cap space. Should they pick up Trish Johnson?
Sure. Why not?
I mean, you go ahead and do it. It ain't going to make the defense better, but go ahead and do it. I like it.
The troops. Try to make a Super Bowl run this year. Yeah, go ahead for it. Go for it.
This weekend, women's final. Who do we have? UConn, Stanford, Maryland, Notre Dame.
UConn.
Bye, bro.
Just some quick games to look for this weekend. OKC versus the Spurs, Clippers versus Dallas. Friday, Indiana and Toronto. Sunday, 1 versus 8, Knicks and Miami. We also have Sunday, Toronto versus the Yankees in hopes to break that losing streak. This has been fun, guys. This is Final Shot. David Johnson, Tim
Polite.
Mondo. Thank you for
Mondo
your time.
Allen.